love the slow jazz. Welcome to
Is that
Last
a new
Call.
song?
I think it is a new song.
Oh
New
my
chapter,
goodness.
new song, folks.
Love it.
We're switching it up.
Once again, joined by Chris, Mike, Hartley, and Maggie here to talk about episode 13.
Lucky number.
13.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so much fun.
Okay. Point of order. Easel. Christopher Mr. Black.
Wow, using my full name. How'd you know Mr. was my middle name?
We all know Mr's your middle name.
Yeah.
You absolute fiend.
I had a little fun this
You
episode.
know full well that my favorite ever NPC that you've ever run in any campaign has been Easel. Easel is a character that exists in our campaign that Mike and I have played in for a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah, so upon coming up with this Wandering Wonder, which we'll get into as well, I thought, yeah, what kind of like artists and performers would be there? And I thought, I think it would be fun if I added a little more flair and maybe a little familiarity. Because Easel was something that I came up with on the spot in our other campaign, Maggie.
Mhm.
They asked for a street artist, and from deep within my conscience,
He
Easel,
came up with the name
You birthed
Easel.
him.
I was really good at improv. They needed an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Their name is Easel.
But enough about Easel, enough about the end of the episode. Let's start at the beginning, which was us leaving Tillville. Thank goodness, we're seeing the world like, I don't know, Tillville was slow. A lot happened, but Tillville was slow. And now, I don't know, we're getting to know each other. It feels good.
It's
we're literally
slow
leveling up.
and it's comfortable.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
upon leaving this like small, quaint, comfy town, the world is expanding. So in a sense, it's scary,
Mhm.
but at least you're doing it together. And
Yeah.
the only way to grow as together is to grow as a party and learn a little bit more about each other, which you guys kind of did in your travel montage, which was really nice.
Yeah, the stone thing was
yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So
Which stone thing? The talking to your mom, or are you trying to rub off tattoos with him? Because
definitely the talking to my mom.
both were equally crazy in my eyes.
Right. I guess the rubbing thing with the stone was Maggie just being like, "Wait, are you?"
Well, I
doing that
didn't.
with it?"
I
'Cause
just saw
guys,
Michael was actually rubbing his arm, and I
Right.
was like, and it looked like you were holding, like you were gripping a
holding
thing, and so I was like,
something.
and I turned around for 2 seconds, and so I was like, oh, that's what you're doing. But
Right. And I think that just turned into
Yeah.
me being like, "I'm gonna try to contact the stone."
Which
And then
led
what a lovely
to
moment between all three of us.
Yeah. Also, it led to such a good lie by Chris, making you think that was the puzzle.
Yeah.
It was just, all you had to do was rub the tattoos with the stone. That was it.
Yeah. What's who are the guys that have the moving tattoos in Harry Potter? Is there someone that has like the snake, the moving snake?
Oh, the
Death
Death
Eater?
Eaters. They have the
Yeah.
dark mark. Yeah.
Not-
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I have.
Dylan the Death
Yeah.
Eater.
Yeah.
So in terms of the stone, I'm surprised it hadn't come up before because I didn't just save this realization for this episode. This could have happened way earlier.
Okay.
When you were communicating with the stone, and I was very careful in seeing what you were saying. Not once did you ever mention
Your
who you
name?
were.
never said
You
your name.
never said Dylan.
Oh
My
You never said
goodness.
this is Dylan Buckley.
Goodness.
The only communication that you've had was, who is this?
Yeah.
Oh, just so you know, Thorol's dead. But I'm going to take care of the stone.
That makes sense.
So-
Of course, someone on the other end
Yeah.
Would have been
would
like,
not want to talk to you.
For
Yeah.
sure. So the original voice
God.
that I heard, that was the voice of my mother?
Yes.
Wow.
I love that it.
That's crazy.
I love that
Wow.
it took Clue being like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Who are you?
Dylan needs to
I'm
talk.
friends with Dylan, but like, who are you?
Wait, Dylan?
Yeah,
That was crazy.
That's so silly. It's like bodyguard vibe. Now being
Yeah.
like, I'm mad.
Yeah.
And then it instantly turned to just like me having my mom on a cell phone being like,
Yeah.
I'm going to the fair. I'll
Yeah, which is so funny and very good for. I love that for Dylan. That's so good.
Yeah,
was a lot of fun.
I was very careful to like, every time
That's
you had your
wild.
little like stone seances, I'm like,
Yeah.
they didn't do it. I can't reward
can't,
this.
yeah.
They're just not going to talk to you.
That's so interesting. And I love how we all held hands during that entire
Yeah,
moment.
physically, like,
physically IRL, we
podcast.
all had our hands in. We were all hands on top of other hand.
Yeah.
Well, ambulance passing by. But
A little wee
It's-
woo break.
It's
Am I right?
also in-
A little wee woo break.
someone is in trouble, Hartley.
Or they're just trying to get through a light. Ever thought of that, Mike?
Wait, no, but
Cue the smooth
all
jazz.
right, take it away, Maggie.
No, it reminded me of like a previous, I think it was in the last call I mentioned it, but we were like, what were our backup plans for like when you were dying one time?
Right.
And one of my things was to use the stone to try to call for help for you because you were dying.
I believe your
And-
idea was like you were going to say into the stone, Kinala's
Yeah.
son is dead.
Yeah.
And if that had happened, it would have
Yeah.
been, this is Kinala.
Hello.
It's just like, it's so fun. Because, yeah, we talked about that and that.
Wow.
That's really funny.
That's so interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Mm-hmm.
We all leveled up, level 4.
Yeah.
we
We
did.
did our little montage.
I cannot wait. By the way, we didn't talk about it too much because we had other stuff to talk about.
Yes.
But Sentinel feet, I've never run a character with Sentinel feet. I didn't really understand. I knew kind of some of the stuff that I did. I was like, I can take Lucky. Lucky's fun. Get to re-roll some dice. Sentinel, I am going to abuse the hell out of Sentinel.
I'm not looking
I am
forward to it.
so excited. I am so excited to add Chris to be narrating something. I'll be like, did they leave my range? Chris, did they move away from my range?
It's going to be so much
It's going to be
fun.
so nice
It's
for the
gonna be
listeners.
so good. Yeah, get ready for that. Get
ready
ready
to
for a
s-
pest.
Honestly, I'm excited because, yeah, like all of everything we leveled up into does kind of work cohesively as well, which
think
just
so.
kind of happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't plan on leveling up with benefiting either of you.
Right. Right.
No,
I
but
mean,
I-
So it's
ultimately,
nice to have
I did just
it.
benefit myself,
Yeah.
but also if I don't
You
go
need to take
down,
some hits
then,
sometimes.
yeah.
Like, you needed hit points. I needed
Your hit
wisdom.
points brought you up to what, 28?
24.
24.
Yeah.
24 total?
20. I gained 8 hit points this level.
Yeah.
Because I'm at 40.
That's
I'm at
crazy.
26.
Michael, when he
Wow.
chose to be a fighter, made Constitution his worst ability score.
Which is not the way to play a fighter, but I love it.
I didn't know what Constitution meant when I made my character, so
But you know what?
Nice.
It's funny.
It works. I think.
Canon.
And even like the things that you chose when you guys were leveling up, it makes sense for your characters.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Dylan needs to be stronger. Clue maybe is getting a little more protective and a little more like back
Yeah.
into how he used to be like
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Minx is getting more in tune with her innate magical abilities, right? So
Specializing.
you guys did choose this because you think it'd be fun for your characters, but it also
Yeah.
makes sense for your characters, right?
it's really, I mean, it's really like ultimately we did roll for all of our stats too. So it's like it was also a matter of us just rolling absolute garbage,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
which was a thing.
Yep.
I rolled great. I don't know
And then
about
of
you
course,
two.
like
All right.
also rolling garbage and not really knowing what Constitution translates to as a fighter made Dylan
Yeah,
who he
that-
is today.
that's
But-
pretty huge.
You know,
but it
that's-
also worked out for the personality.
But I will say yes, yeah, I do. It's really cool seeing how the dice do tell the tale and how they really do like.
Yeah.
like for example that nat 1 on the easel when I was in I
Oh my
was
God.
deceiving, like that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But of course it's the only time I rolled a nat 1 this episode.
Yeah.
And going back to like I guess your interaction with Easel, we can also get into the show that you
Yes.
witnessed, which also kind of leads
Yeah.
to Maggie's failed
My
nature
nat
checks.
one.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up next because that. Like your guess of the stars, I had not thought of that at all.
Yeah.
The moment you said it and you looked into the sky, I understand the nat 1 made it rain. That's hilarious. But also I was like, that might just crack the code.
Yeah.
I was like, the moment I heard it, I was like, I don't know what Chris has planned, but I have a feeling it's exactly what you're thinking.
Well, it's like Hercules, right? Like
Yeah,
in
like the
Hercules
stars
when
aligning.
the stars align and they open up the gods from underneath. and
Olympus,
they all-
yeah.
yeah.
I am a Disney boy.
It's good shit, man. It's the classics.
It's the classic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the secret of Thoro's illustrations have finally come
Yeah.
to view. You,
So
you now
quick.
know what the pictures mean.
Hallows Day.
Hallows Day.
I feel like we're in if we're in Majora's Mask now, and it's like
We
10 days
10
remaining.
days.
We
Yeah.
just need to climb a mountain now.
Yeah, in 10 days.
7 days to the
Less.
capital.
Yeah, we
It's
have
gonna
to
be-
and then
get
3
there.
to the top of a mountain.
We're gonna have a quick visit. In,
Yeah.
in the
Hi,
capital.
bye.
We did how many episodes for like 2 days in Tillville?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
spent like 2.5 days
We'll be
throughout 12
fine.
episodes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, it's
Time is
And then
fluid.
you had your role. You had the guys.
What?
Sorry.
I sure did.
Maggie had her guys.
Maggie, you had the.
Sorry, I don't know if the poop
The guys.
roll happened. The thing that you talked about where you got taken away from the festivities. Yeah, I don't know if that.
Oh yeah, we
cut
haven't
out.
we haven't made it to the festival talk yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've sort of moved there now in the chat, but
Yeah. And expanding furthermore on
It's
the Wandering Wonder. Did I cut you off or anything?
No, it's fine. Guys,
it's great. No.
This is the last call. This is us just kicking back, putting on the fan because it's hot.
no, because that's going to
It's
sound
not
awful.
on.
Okay, well we'll put on the fan later because it's hot.
It's a sweltering day.
And just talking about the episode.
Yeah,
so-
we
Yeah.
can talk a little bit more about the Wandering Wonder because
Yeah. We should talk about that for sure.
obviously you guys are going to spend a little more time there next episode, but
Chris, it was
It
beautiful.
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is such a it is the prime definition of like the things you can do with theater of the mind. I had a perfect image in my head.
Me too.
And I have a feeling it was the exact same as
Yeah.
it was in both of your heads.
Of course.
And I loved I'm actually really curious. The picture, Chris, you can just take a sip of water or something. Mike and Maggie. The picture in your mind of what the circus looked like, was it a big circular tent or was it a big
Oh
what
my
space
gosh.
was it?
You know what? It started for me at the beginning of the description. It started off with like an oval shaped
That's
thing.
me too.
With like audiences on all our sides.
Was it
and
raised around the outside?
It was raised around the outside, and
in
then-
the middle was
yeah,
lower.
It was
Because
lower,
there's a
but
pool or a pond.
there was a pool. However, I think it did change when I found out that there was like little zones of things happening,
Yeah.
and that's when it became more of like this like main sort of like a fan expo
Like a
or like a
thoroughfare
thing, like
It's
type
like
deal.
a fair
carnival
area.
that's built out like a fun house
Yeah.
in my brain.
But
Like,
then
there's
the adult
corridors
section is like
and-
stairs.
Yeah,
and,
I
like,
had
it's, like,
raised
up in the corner.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so
Yeah.
picturing the same thing.
Yeah, it's you created a magical hub
You really
Yes.
did.
in a little
And
person tent.
it's just such a contrast to what Hallow is used to.
Mhm.
It is like a multi-planar traveling circus. That's the way I
Yeah.
described it. And it is so contrasting to what Hallow is used to. Like
Yeah.
Hallow, like magic on Hallow is almost taboo in a sense. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
there are people that use it, but not a lot of people can. Not a lot of people can afford to even use magic. So this is just a exuberant display of wealth in a sense, because magic almost equals
Yeah.
wealth in Hallow. So these traveling circus men, they have no problem using magic. They can use it freely. Like even like the lineup, you can see there is magic being used because there's this tiny tent that expands into this
Yeah.
massive stadium-sized festival.
With all that magic happening, like this is Hartley asking Maggie, what is Minx's like? I know about Minx and your whole goal is like finding a new source of magic, and you
Yeah.
look at like all of this cavalier kind of use, throwing it left, right, and center, right? But like I'd imagine that sparked a bunch of like conflicting emotions because it was majestic.
Yeah, and it's both amazing and frustrating because like Chris, you lovely, just ever so lovely, gave me a task to do and focus on immediately as soon as I went to a magical fun house.
Yeah.
Of like the 3 people that fucked you over in episode 1 are here.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's
We're
like what's powering all this magic, but it's also a lot of innate magic. It's like you got like the golems, you got a lot of like cantrips and thermit, like you have things that are like accessible magic being used in really fun ways, but it's like, yeah, are people
Yeah.
powering this?
Yeah.
Is there elemental orbs? Is it necessary here? Is there somebody running it? Like,
yeah,
it's,
I can give you a little peek behind the screen. Yeah, so like you said, there are beings that are not from Hallow. So a lot of
Are there beans?
there are also beans. Yeah, magical beans.
magic beans.
Pinto?
Yeah, pinto, kidney, fuck
Black. Okay.
you.
Great.
I love those beans.
Yeah,
Me too.
Love the fuck you beans. So yeah, a lot of cantrips, a lot of innate abilities are being used. But for those who maybe are casting spells, you can assume that because this is a wealthy traveling circus,
Yeah.
they have enough element orbs, enough resources to be doing this kind of stuff. And I'm assuming it almost, not to like trying to delve too much into character, but it's a huge spectacle, but it's almost like frustrating because maybe you can assume like, this is what I want Hallow to be.
It makes me want to figure out, like, who's running it?
Yeah.
How did they collect these people? Because it's like a little magical commune of like, it's a safe space for magic use. And it's not like that in the capital.
Agreed.
It's not like that in
It's not-
Tillville.
it's not like that in Hallow.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
thought potentially the planes of existence might have played into a part of it because they're like looking at my chicken scratch notes here.
Oh, we're gonna get there in a bit.
Planes of existence can be seen in the.
You know what? Let's just kick right into it right now. Welcome to a new segment that we're gonna have in
No, we're
Yeah.
doing it.
in
Yeah.
every last call called Mike reads his notes from literally this episode.
And can he decipher them?
All right,
right.
kick it off, Mike.
Starts to get cold. Green hats, and then I have numbers, which I think are the those are the thing, and then Mom alive! Exclamation mark. Berry and shear. Don't know what that is. Berry, Burberry, and shear. Don't know what that is.
I know what it is.
I know what it is.
Audience, do you know?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
No. Don't tell
is
him.
it the name of the horses?
Yeah.
Also known as
Banks
Banks,
and
and
Sheehan.
Sheehan.
Berry and sheer.
Berries and shear. Magic tent, easy peasy. Magic remembering green before. Magic never been green before. Pond intent, cool. So many things. Element tokens. Element gontens. Element gnomes. Element. What are they? Element golems. That's the one. Element golems. Adult section. What Cyril licks? Laughter heard takes me. Stop. Oh, that was you were looking at my notes and I tried to write stop, but it was facing towards me.
I'm starting to realize, Mike, that your note taking isn't just like things you want to remember. You literally just write what you're thinking.
He just writes things.
You know what?
This
It's
is
a
Dylan
stream of
Buckley.
it's a stream of consciousness. But then I have Hallows Day. I have all those things. 8 dots, the stars line up, 10 days, and I think that's it for the episode for in terms of notes. But that's crazy. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's,
Good job.
not as bad as the other episodes. But it's really cool to learn about Hallows Day and also very fun. My whole like the fact that I have an employee's cloak is also really freaking awesome.
The fact that you raised it was just
raised the voice.
funny.
Well, I was so ready for you because like as soon as you got it was like you got easel, you got the cloak, got
Yeah, you
the face
did
and makeup.
so good.
You had all the
Yeah.
right steps, and I was like, yeah, just come on, you can like lead us in maybe.
Yeah.
And then immediately was like, tell me more about this.
Tell me more about the national holiday that everyone knows
In a
about. What
moment-
day is that?
In a moment where you took all the necessary steps and now have to be discreet, you bring all the attention to yourself.
God.
So ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. It just felt like such a Dylan thing to do. Like he would have just been like, oh, but what is it? What day is it?
You also did because it was funny because we talked about it. I think we either talked about it at the like 12th episode or just at the beginning of this one. But like Dylan was like a little bit becoming more standoffish or like learning to like keep information
No.
immediately. Who are you? Dylan Buckley. Like right back at it. Right back at it with like why I'm here.
He can
I
grow,
want
but
to go
it's
to the
gonna
adult
be-
section. I want to. Yeah, I do want this.
It's gonna be
Well,
at his own
he
pace.
did threaten me. He did threaten me by saying that, you know, I do work here and I can get you kicked out. So
Yeah,
I had to play along
I
with
did
Easel
have
for that
to
one.
add some role playing to that nat one deception
Yes,
that you
no,
had.
100%. And I think like, you know,
good old
ultimately an utter failure like that, I think I was rewarded pretty well. But
Well, you did have to pay 75 gold.
I did have to pay 75
Jesus.
gold.
rent,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
rent
That's a lot.
cloak.
But you know
Yes.
what? That's okay because he makes golden spades.
I
It's
do.
true.
Oh.
He is making golden spades. You are heading to an auction.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't think about that. However, I
It is
will
what it
now
is.
be in the auction because I did pay 75 gold. So that's good. But I mean, we could all pool our cash together, right? Maybe. Sure. Okay. Yeah, and I think I'm trying to think of I don't know what else.
That's it from me. I'm just gonna go to bed now.
Maggie, did you say anything? Did you want to add anything?
No, I'm happy to be back.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
this
to
feels
be
good.
back.
I know
This
it
feels
feels
good.
like nothing
This feels
probably
right.
to anybody listening, but like it's been a while for
Yeah.
us, and so it's
It feels right.
But also in other human news,
What in other human news?
Chris's birthday was last week.
you
Happy
just-
birthday, Chris!
Oh,
Yeah.
happy birthday,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Our DM's birthday was last week, and he has blessed us with the curling and taco shirt.
Stop.
But yeah, Chris's birthday was not too long ago. Wish him a happy birthday if you want on
29,
Instagram. Though it's now going to be like 2 months after his birthday, so maybe don't do that. That might be weird.
Wish him a happy birthday.
Happy
Do it.
birthday.
There's specifically a post on it. Know that taco thing is Chris's favorite thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the straight up bullying I'm going to witness in 2 months.
I'm looking forward to straight up bullying Chris.
And one more time. And then also, if you have any questions, if you have anything you want us to talk about on our last call, if you have any things at all, feel free to email us or send
questions.
us. Yeah.
Send us questions.
Send us questions. We want to talk to you guys. You know, we want this to be a conversation as it is now.
In the same way that we just added a segment of Mike reading his own notes,
Yeah.
we'll add a segment if you've got questions.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear what you think. If you hate it, let us know. If you love it, let us know. If
you hate it, maybe don't let us know.
let us know.
No,
For
tell
sure.
us.
Tell us you hate it.
We have an
hear
email. Fill it.
At the time of recording, we are still waiting for a picture of a vibrator to be sent to us. First one to do that will get something.
No.
We'll
Yeah.
get a shout out.
Hey,
We'll send
okay,
you
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
And
I can agree to a shout
then
out.
one more time for the people that
Is it weird now that you know that you've been talking to your mom through a vibrator?
yes,
Okay.
but we
Thoral's
like it.
vibrator.
Thoral's vibrator. Though, wait a second.
Yeah.
Thoral was.
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
sexual.
Maybe that's a little weird.
Could be.
They were just like, "Hey, you upping" the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A secret vibrator stone
Okay, it hasn't crossed Dylan's mind, but Michael's thinking
hidden
about it.
in his basement.
I just want to clarify to the audience that this is a joke, but it is not a vibrator in the campaign.
yes, it's not.
It's a vibrator.
And lastly, big shout out to the people that have been here from day one. Really appreciate you guys listening. You know who you are. We absolutely love you. And send us some cues. And
Yeah, it could be about character stuff. It could be about like story things
Anything.
without like obviously I'm not going to give
Anything.
away any spoilers. It could be about mechanics. If you're confused about certain things that we do at the table, I know we've had questions before about morale cards, certain roles that we do. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, we'd be happy to talk about them on the last call
or
as well.
any deeply personal questions about any of us that we'll definitely answer on air.
If you
1000%.
need Dylan Buckley to give you some life advice,
He will do
hit
that.
us
oh
up.
boy, am I excited to tell you? But yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you
We love
so
you all
much.
so very much. We're excited to record the next episode next week.
We're back.
We're
back, baby.
and we are recording.
You didn't know we left, but we are back.
We are back, and it feels good.
Cue that smooth jazz.
Oh yeah, new track.